guys, it's Michelle and welcome to my channel. Today's show is the truth about the perks of being a Louis Vuitton employee. Shout out to Cindy from A Heated Mess. I saw her awesome video and she really had some interesting things to share about what it was like to be a Vuitton employee 10 years ago. A lot has changed. I was just so enthralled listening to what she had to say. And I wanted to share with you guys some of the changes, a lot of the changes that have happened in 10 years. I'm a recent Vuitton employee. I left just a little over a year ago. So the perks have changed dramatically. LVMH is the name of it. It's Louis Vuitton Moet Hennessy, which is an umbrella that owns over 100 luxury brands, including Dior, Givenchy, Fendi, Rimowa, just to name a few. Even though we housed all those brands as a Louis Vuitton employee, I could not go into Dior and say, I'm an employee of LVMH, do I get a discount? The perks that we did get in terms of Dior, Givenchy, I do remember emails dropping right around Christmas that would say, here's a sale for Dior or Givenchy lipsticks for 50% off these certain colors if you shop with this link online. So it wasn't even all the products, it was just kind of a flash sale. These are the discounts that you could get from other brands, and it did not happen very often at all. A huge perk for me was that I worked in a boutique that was inside a department store, so we were able to participate in those department store sales and employee discounts. One thing that didn't change, the discount of 30% off merchandise in the boutique still remains the same. Now, where we got the real deals was the employee online store that you can only shop through the intranet. This is where you got the best deals. However, what we could not find on that site ever was anything that was the brown monogram that is the most requested item from my friends and family. Can you get me a bag? I couldn't even get myself a bag. The RTV system, return to vendor, that Cindy talked about, completely gone. Any product that came in damaged or was damaged on the floor, we did fill out the RTV form and we sent it to what we called handbag heaven. I do believe some of those items did end up on EOS kind of as one-offs, because I did hear from coworkers that they had purchased something from EOS and it had arrived with a big old scratch. Unfortunately, on EOS, all sales are final, no returns, no exchanges. Luckily, I've never had that issue. I have received shoes from EOS that I do believe were put on display because it had the P-Touch label. So one of those pairs of shoes, I believe, has a little discoloration from being on display. So it was probably RTV'd and ended up in EOS and ended up in my hands. What the price came out to be, roughly 80% off of each pair of shoe. And I did buy a few pair of shoes that I will show you in a follow-up video. Unfortunately, we did not have a fire sale. No $49 shoes. That just sounds like heaven. And no type of sale where we can bring our friends and family to shop. The only one and only boutique that you could go shop in person is the employee store in France. It is somewhere near the flagship store in Paris and is by appointment only. I never got the chance to go. I did hear from coworkers they had to make an appointment, shop early. When you do go to shop at this boutique, there are other employees that you have to compete with. Now, the way the system works now is that the item has to be out of season for at least 2 years before they put it on EOS. But there were a lot of handbags where you really had to love that piece. You're never going to see like your everyday bag. And the markdown was not nearly as good as it was for ready to wear and shoes. It was somewhere around 40 to 50%, and if the piece did not sell, it would gradually get lower, but not a lot of women's handbags, in the sense that people think like, oh my gosh, you work for Louis, you must have such great stuff. There were also limits on what you can spend. I believe it was $4,000 for handbags, so you have to be really careful considering the price of a handbag. The limit for shoes was $1,000 every 6 months. Other perks, you do get your uniform and your dry cleaning taken care of. That was so easy, not have to wash your own uniform. You just send it into the dry cleaner and comes back nice and pressed. So that was the easiest thing about working for Vuitton. Unfortunately, you do not get to keep your pouch anymore. They did ask for it back. I do have some clothing items that I kept. They didn't ask for it back. contests. Our contests were so impossible to win. I know Cindy mentioned trips to Paris. That wasn't happening anymore. There were trips, but very, very limited. It was like for the top salesperson in the whole country. In the US, everybody knows who that person is. He goes by 2 initials. They also broke down the contest by the size of the boutique that you worked in. So there was A, B, and C. A being the largest boutique, C being the smallest, B somewhere in the middle. I remember when I started, my store manager actually told me our category was B. She said, there's already somebody who's just like that well-known salesperson, and he's in this mall. So she was pretty much telling me there's no chance anybody in our store would win this contest. So they did away with those. The only things I heard about people traveling, you have to be a manager to be selected to do a certain program. I believe someone in our store was sent to do the perfume program right before the perfume relaunch. Place people did get to travel to was to Los Angeles for the 5-day induction, which is an intensive workshop on all things Vuitton. I was also so jealous to see that Cindy received that little mini agenda because I got nothing. Corporate never gave us a thing. Even for induction, I was just thinking in my head, like, could have they at least gifted us a perfume for being here for 5 days away from our families? But the only gift that we got was a little tube of candy from that store with the champagne gummy bears. I can't think of the name of the store. If you know the name of the store, drop it in the comments. The branding is blue. But yeah, we got a little cube of candy for being there for 5 days. So this was a shock to me. Having come from working cosmetics, I literally have a closet full of free cosmetics and skincare. So the dream, you would think, is that I have a closet full of Louis. No such thing. Wah. Not very many incentives. In fact, the selling incentive at my particular boutique, they were like, here's a water bottle, choose this bag of candy from Target. The best incentive I did receive was $20 selling a trunk. The trunk I sold was a very special watch trunk. The retail price on it was $6,800. It's a part of our yearly goals were to sell these special pieces, chunks, fine jewelry, ready to wear. And this was a contest that one of the managers just kind of put out there because we happened to receive this special piece. Thank you though, I'm very appreciative. So other contests would be like, every 10,000 you sell, you get a chip, and then you put it in the pile, and the person with the most chip gets to pick from the pile of Target goodies. The incentive was that we had to sell, we had to hit our sales goals, or we would be on the chopping block. There were discounts on the back end, and they didn't necessarily have to do with Vuitton. Somehow there was an Apple discount at 10%. There was also discount on Moet if you ever needed to buy champagne. And I also do remember there being discount at one of the fancy smancy gyms. I'd say the best part about it were actually the employee purchases, and they are purchases that I absolutely love. I've already done a video on my top 3 employee purchases from Vuitton, so be sure to check that out. If you've watched to this point of the video, thank you so much for being here. Please be sure to hit the like and subscribe button and put a comment below. Have a great day, everyone.